Great. All right, my name is Stephanie Comella, and we're here with PD Active, and we're here for a neuro-movement class, sort of a broad term for a movement class that involves Pilates, primal movements, sensory integration, body awareness, and just general working on movement efficiency through Parkinson's and Parkinson's symptoms. This month, we are working on transitions from kneeling to standing and then standing exercises. We're also emphasizing foot mobility and foot strength. So you're going to need a foot release ball, something about this size. A tennis ball works great. And we're going to start with that at the beginning of every class in November and December. So let's go ahead and grab your ball. And I always like to zoom down. I was telling the class before I hit record that my studio is very cold today, so I'm wearing like wool socks, but we'll still get that nice mobility. So go ahead and place the ball on the mat. If you need to hold on to something to support your balance, please do that. That way we can be safe. And then just start pressing your foot onto the ball, giving, I kind of call it like a mash. So just gonna be mashing the ball. And some of you have been doing this for quite a few classes or maybe even years, but I'm just going to continue narrating and guiding you through the foot mobility drills as if it was your first time. So as you work through that, you're getting different spots of your foot underneath the ball or of your foot. And the idea here is that we're trying to separate all the bones in the top of the foot so that they sort of ooze over the top of the ball. So we're getting lots of mobility through this mid-foot area. You can even think about doing a little bit of ankle mobility with that. So letting your ankle bone drop inward and then letting your ankle bone drop outward. Make sure you get right at the base of the heel as well. And I like doing kind of a rub on the back of the heel. Okay. And then we're going to leave the ball for a second, and you may need to hold on to something for this next one. We're going to go toenails down on the mat. So curl your foot so it looks like a ballerina pointing, and then place the toenails down. And you're just going to roll from side to side, pinky toe side and big toe side. And notice the stretch that you might get when you go to the pinky toe side, all around the outside of your ankle. And then even getting yourself some movement in the ankle from side to side here. And then let's do some circles with your toenails still down. Yeah. All right. So we worked on the mobility. We just worked on the mobility of the toes folding over. Now we're going to work on the mobility of the toes folding up. So we're going to place the ball right underneath that big toe. And last week someone had the issue they brought up. They said it keeps kind of slipping out. So you can do this against a wall too. So if you put the ball against the wall, if this was a wall, and then you can do that stretch there. The idea here is that we want to keep the base of that big toe, so the ball of the foot, or what's called the metatarsal head, on the ground, and then allowing that big toe to fold up. And we're just going to bend your knee, so your shin is going to come forward towards the wall or over the toe, and then release the knee back. So a little bigger shot, bend the knee in, and then release back. Yeah. Good, let's go 2 more. Good. And then find sort of a neutral shin position. And we're going to push down with that big toe into the ball. So if I do it with my finger, because I know I'm wearing socks, but if you push down, hold for 5 seconds, and then release and actively lift that toe up. Let's push and release, push When you push, you may feel some work in your arch. That's a positive thing. Let's do 2 more of those. Isometric contractions of the big toe. Nice job. Last one. Great. All right, before we ditch the ball on this foot, we're gonna put now the ball under roughly the other like 4-ish toes. And we're gonna try to let the big toe drop down. So if you need to manually like reach over and do that, I've got socks on, of course, so kind of like finagling that. Socks are like mittens for your feet, I just realized. And just letting that stretch there on those big toes. Go ahead and rock forward and back. And sometimes it's helpful to like step into it too, especially if you're not against a wall, you can kind of step through it. Trying to keep the big toe down and the little toes stretching. One more time. Good, nice work. Amazing. Go ahead and take that ball out from underneath and just come up onto the heel of your foot and wiggle your toes in any way that you can. Play piano with them. Wave them. Can we do the other way? Very good. Nice. And then go ahead and stomp out that foot. Bring some vibration through. Yeah. Good. Same foot. We're going to have that foot behind us and we're going to come into a stride. Again, in this split stance, it challenges your balance. So if you need a chair or a wall to hold on to, do so. Take note, make sure that your back foot is forward and not turned out. Okay, we want it forward. And we're going to roll up onto the big toe, big push off. Your knee should be straight and your booty is squeezed. And then bend your front knee to lower the heel down. So we're gonna lift up, straighten both legs especially. And then when you lower the heel down, we're gonna bend the front knee. Now you want more weight in this front leg when you drop the heel down. So instead of like weight shifting back this way, making sure that you are actively reaching your heel down and then everything collects to lift. Actively reach the heel, actively reach to lift. Very nice. And we're going to go through this a few more times, working on that push off, the rolling of the foot. One more time. Very nice. And then shake it out. Bring your feet next to one another, and especially if you're not wearing socks, you may be able to look down and see a difference between the foot that you just worked and the foot that you did not. Maybe there's a color difference, or even just the like an essence of life. And then go ahead and look away from your feet. Close your eyes if that feels right for you. And notice if they feel different. Does one foot feel more grounded or flat? One of my feet definitely feels warmer than the other, the one I just worked, so more blood flow. And any other feelings that you notice in that foot that you just worked with. Let's go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. And I'll take you through it exactly the same way with the same cues and the same reminders. All right, so we're just gonna start with a mashing of your foot. And that ball can glide in any spot of that foot. Remember, the idea here is to get the bones of the midfoot to spread and ooze over the ball. If you need to spend a little extra time in a certain spot, feel free to do that. Yeah. And then if you haven't already, maybe a little extra right in front of the heel bone. I like to do a little roll there. Strum that plantar fascia. And then placing it sort of in the middle and doing a little eversion where the ankle bone rolls in and inversion where the ankle bone rolls out. Make sure that it's not your knee going, right? We want to get the ankle. Yeah. Good. All right, any last desires of that foot rolling with the ball? And then we'll place it off to the side. Let's do the toenails down top of the foot stretch. So we point the toe like a ballerina and then lower it down. And rocking from side to side. And you can get a lot of that ankle stretch too. So if you go kind of beyond the toe, you can get some ankle in there. This is one of those things that, like, when you're doing this stretch, you can notice the balance on the other side. How well can you balance on one leg? A little balance drill with it, yeah. And then circles, keeping your toenails down. For those of you with arthritis or contractures in your toes, if that's you, just be kind to yourself. Do what feels right. Switch directions if you haven't already. And then stomp out that foot. Bringing vibration. Really loud stomps. I'm not going to go loud so it doesn't annoy you, but I want you to be as loud as possible. Yeah. Bring that vibration. Yeah, nice. All right, we're going to place that ball underneath your big toe. And again, if you need to use a wall so the ball doesn't slip out. And I didn't mention this on the other side, but we want to have the big toe on the ball and then try to separate that second toe so it goes down. Yeah, and I know if you're wearing socks, that can be a little bit. Again, socks are mittens. I'm just making that conclusion. Mittens for the feet. Alrighty, and then of course, making sure that that big toe head, the metatarsal head, is on the ground. When you're ready, we'll start that little knee drive forward over the toe and then sit back. As you do your knee drive, make sure you keep your heel down. So only go as far that you can keep your heel depressed. Yeah. Last one or two. Nice. And then isometric toe presses. All right. So we're going to press into the ball. There might be a little squeeze depending on how forgiving your ball is, and then release. The idea of this one is to create a contraction that highlights and activates the arch of your foot. I'm not looking for like Hulk impact. I don't need the ball to smash. All right. I'm looking for activation. So especially if you have a hard ball, let's be realistic. It's just to give you this contraction. Hold for about 5 seconds and then release. Yeah. Good. And then we're going to take that, wiggle it out. Take that ball and place it under the other 3 or 4 toes. And then again, you want the big toe to separate down. So reach down and do that manually if you need to. And then the other 3 toes are there. And then we're going to do a little bit of that knee bend forward or even a step through. Yeah. Hold on to that chair or your wall if you're feeling unbalanced. There you go. Maybe 1 or 2 more steps. Good. Nice. And then we're about done with that ball. Go ahead and come onto your heel here and just wiggle those toes around. Wave. Hello. Play piano. Do the wave. Switch the direction of the wave. And And then just wiggle them as much as you feel like you can. Great. Let's go into that split stride. Split stride again, double check to make sure that your foot is facing forward and not turned out. And we're going to lift up onto the ball of the foot. Then bend your knee and stretch the heel back simultaneously. So if you think about it, it's like things are going this way, and then knee and heel are going in opposite direction. Push, and then opposite direction, the front knee bends. Good, and you wanna be on a really long stride here. You wanna be in a really long stride, like bigger than your normal gait, because that's what we're sort of training this for, this range of motion. Yeah. Good. We'll go 3 more. 2 more, and last one. Good. And then step together. Go ahead and bring your feet together. Hopefully the foot you just worked on feels equal, if not now more than the other foot. More alive, warmer, more circulation. And then go ahead and walk around the room and just feel how that newfound foot articulation and changes your gait, if at all. Maybe you're rolling through your foot a bit more. Maybe you have less of a clunky gait, less of slapping. There's more grace to it. Yeah. More push off through your big toe. Nice. And then come back to your spot and pick out 1 or 2 of those drills that we just did. So we did lots of mashing. Which 1 or 2 were your favorites? And then we're gonna commit over the next 6 days to do that exercise every day for like 30 seconds aside. Okay, pick which one you're gonna choose for the week. Say it out loud. I can't hear you, but say it out loud to yourself and commit, right? All right, we're gonna use your chair if you need to for the next one for some calf raises. We're gonna reverse engineer our standing all the way down to the ground. We did something similar to it last week. So if you need a chair or you wanna do this against a wall, feel free to do that. Actually, you know what? That chair doesn't really have a back to it, so that's not gonna help me, but I'm gonna use this post here, okay? So we're gonna use the chair for a little bit of balance. Go ahead and lift up onto the balls of your feet. And then for 3 counts, we're gonna lower the heels down. So maybe a little power on the up. And then 3, 2, 1, lower down. Power on the up. And 3, 2, 1, lower down. Nice. Power on the up. And 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Power on the up. And 3, 2, 1. Now, if you don't need a chair, you're going to sweep the hands behind you when you come up. And then 3, 2, 1, lower down. Power up. Woo. 3, 2, 1. That's what happens when your feet are cold and they're like numb. You can't feel them. 3, 2, 1. Release. Last one. Lift. And 3, 2, 1. Release. Nice job. Grab your chair. Take a seat. Sit at the very front edge of that chair, arms out in front. We're going to come off of that chair into a hover. A low hover off of the chair. Don't go all the way to stand. And then sit back in that chair. Low hover, shift forward. And then sit back. Low hover, shift forward. And sit back. Keep going. I'm going to add some layers in. Low hover, shift forward. Low hover, shift forward. Bring your hands behind your back. Bring them back forward and then sit down. Low hover. Optional to bring the hands behind the back, forward and return. Get that range of motion in your shoulders. Hover, reach, forward and back. Nice job. We're going to do 2 more of those. Hover, just barely off the chair. Yep, 1 more time, hover. Good. Lift and all the way to stand on that last one. Nicely done. We're going to come back into your calf raises. We're going to be doing a single leg bias on this calf raise. So maybe be near a chair for this one. We're going to come up on both feet. We're going to shift over into your right leg, maybe even lift up your left foot, and then lower down on the right heel. Both feet are going to come down. We lift, shift into the right, hover your left foot, and then lower down nice and slow. Okay? Both heels come up, shift, lower. Both heels come up, shift, lower. We got 3 more on this side. Lift, shift, and lower. Lift, shift, and lower. Very nice. Last one. Lift, shift, and lower. We're going to go the other side. Lift, shift into your left, and lower. Lift, shift, lower. Awesome. Lift, shift, lower. Lift, shift, lower. 4 more. Lift. Are our ankles working yet? Yeah. Lift, shift, lower. 2 more. Lift, shift, lower. Last one. Lift, shift, and lower. Nice job. Come back to your chair. Take a seat. I know my head keeps getting cut off. I think we're done with the calf raises so we can lift up a little bit. All right. We're going to do that same thing here where we're sitting back in the chair. Come to a hover just barely off the chair. Hands come behind your back. Hands come forward and then take a seat. So we're picking up just where we left off. I'm going to add another layer for those of you that would like it. Okay. Hover, reach, back, and forward. Now, for those of you that would like a challenge, extra challenge, we go forward. Hands to temples, hands forward and take a seat. Shift, hands to temples, hands forward, take a seat. Now, option number whatever, last option, hands to temples, and you're going to keep that. So we go hover, shift. Good. Hover, shift. Nice. 4 more of whichever option you're doing. Take a moment in that hover to really commit to it. Nice and slow on the lowering. 1 more time. Good. We're going to sit back and then stand all the way up. Shoot yourself up. Nice job. Bill, great job. Turn yourself around so that you have the front of the chair available to you. We're going to place your hands on the seat of the chair and walk your feet back, 1 foot back. So we have 1 foot back and 1 foot forward. Good. Open up your chest nice and wide. Your back heel is elevated. We practiced this in the warm-up. We're going to lower our chest down for a push-up and push away. We're going to go for 5 push-ups on the chair here. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, up, hold. Now, lower your back heel down, lift your back heel up. We did this in the warm-up. We're just reviewing again. Back heel down, back heel up. Make sure that that foot is forward. Good. 1 more time, you're going to lift the heel up and stay there. Good. Now, I didn't say which leg was forward. I have a feeling that some of us are on the left and some of us are on the right. Whichever leg is forward, that same arm is going to come on your hip. Good. A few more of those heel lifts and lowers. And whichever, we're going to lift the heel and stay up. We're going to see if we can get both hands to come onto your hips and you're holding in that lifted heel position. Nice and strong. Now, look at the angle of my torso here. We have the heel elevated. It's in line with the knee. It's in line with the hip. It's in line with the shoulder, ear, and the crown of the head. So everything's sort of at this angle. We have a lot of weight through this leg. Yeah. We're going to lower the heel down. Lift the heel up. Lower the heel down. Lift the heel up. And you should know by now, or maybe you don't, but that's okay. We're going to keep our eyes locked on an object to help your balance. So if you're feeling weeble wobble, find an object. How's that front thigh working for you? Yeah, one more time. Beautiful, return. Step that foot back, you're in a plank. Yes, and if you're too far back, your chair's gonna scoot, so make sure your weight is over your wrists. Other foot comes forward, come into that lunge again. 5 push-ups on the front of your chair, here we go. Elbows are close to you, down and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold. Back heel. Nice, team, I'll wait for you. Yeah, there we go. Back heel drops down. Lift up the heel. Make sure that your foot is pointed forward. Otherwise, this mechanics don't work. All right, the leg that's forward. That hand comes on your hip. Keep going with the ankle. Try not to weight shift all the way back. Keep your weight in the front leg because you know what's coming up next. Say both hands come onto your hips. Stay low. See the angle in the body. You're on an angle here. We're going up and down. Now, don't weight shift your weight back. Keep your weight in the front leg. Yeah, and I love it. Some of you still have a hand out. Awesome. Do what you need to do. Maybe we call it like a super finger where you just have like one finger for that proprioception. Nice job. We got 2 more of these heel raises. Beautiful. Nice job. Both hands down. Step your feet back, both feet. How about 5 push-ups from here? Huh? I don't care how low you go. Here we go. Elbow bend, some degree push. 5, 4, 3, 2, awesome, Comella, good, and 1. We're gonna bring right foot forward, and let's bring that foot really far to the corner of your chair. We're gonna lower your left knee down to the ground. You better believe we're gonna stand back up into that split stance, push all the way up, okay? Drop down, push all the way up. Decelerate nice and slow so you don't slam on that kneecap. Drop down and up. Now, if you're feeling spicy, right hand stays on your hip. Right hand on your hip, left hand just sits on the chair. If you're feeling extra spicy, both hands on your hip. And we're going into a split lunge, okay? Lots of layers, you pick your poison. We got 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, eyes up over the top of your chair. 1 more time, stay standing. Both hands come back to the mat, or the chair, excuse me, the chair. Step your foot back. 5 more push-ups, eyes up, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nice. Left foot steps forward, bring it to the corner of the chair. Lower your back knee down to the mat. Rise up, lower down. Your eyes should be over the top of your back of your chair if you have a back of the chair. Eyes are up. Remember, your body's gonna go where your eyes go, so if you're looking down, you're gonna go down. If you're feeling spicy, left hand on your hip. If you're feeling extra spicy, right hand on your hip as well. So no hand support. Use that back heel, keep it up. Your back heel is lifted. We got 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hands down, step together. How are we doing? Good? 1 more set of push-ups, I promise. Last set. Step the feet back, find your plank. Option, you can have 1 foot forward. 5 push-ups, here we go. I don't care how low you go. I want some elbow bend and some effort. 2, 3, 4, nice job. And exhale, 5. All right, we're gonna try, go ahead and stretch back actually for a moment. Send your hips back over your heels and feel almost like a forward fold. Try to let your heart drop lower than the seat of the chair. Bend your knees a little bit and then push the knees straight. Bend the knees and push. Nice job. Last one. Good. Round your spine and pull yourself forward over the chair until you're in the plank and your eyes are up. We're going to transition from plank to the hinge. If you want to watch the first one, we're going to draw the chin down, round your spine, lift your heels up, and then at the last second, we're going to lower the heels, bend the knees, and come into extension. On the way back over the chair, we go up onto the heels, straighten the knees, round your spine, and pull over your wrists. Eyes up. Round your spine, chin tucks first. Roll as you push back. Heels drop, knees bend, extend. Heels lift, knees go straight, roll forward over your wrists. So super slinky through the whole body. One more time, we go back. Nicely done. And then coming forward over your wrists and stay there. Good. Walk your feet in just a little bit here. We're going to just do now a double heel raise in this position. So we're going to go 2 legs at a time. Heel raise, heel lower. Am I obsessed with these? Probably. You know why? Because I see, Dad, don't tell Mom. I see what happened in my mom's ankles and I'm like, nah, I'm not getting those ankles. And neither are you. Good, we're gonna come up onto those toes and stay there. Here's the tricky part. We're gonna lower your knees down to the ground. Yes, both knees at the same time. Let's now see if we can lift both knees at the same time on the way up, all right? We're gonna push and lift. Wow, nice job, team. Super slow on the way down. Now, listen, if there's a little bit of like stagger, like one knee, then the other knee, I'm cool with that to start. Maybe we have one knee opens and we kind of push through to get up. Nice job. Let's move through that at whatever pace you need to go to explore and do that safely. Good, nice quad strengthening from the bottom there. Big stretch on the quads and then all the way up. Good. Now, if again, that range of motion doesn't suit you, you can go just low and then up, right? Find a range that works for you. It's just something that looks like this. Everyone's gonna look different. One more time, and we're gonna stay on the floor. Good, nice job. Untuck your toes, and then let's sit back on your heels. Some of us, this is gonna be intense. Some of us, you're like, what's the big deal? Yeah. And you're stretching right here, the top of your ankle joints, the toes, of course, your quads. Shift forward onto your hands just enough so that you can retuck those toes underneath you and then sit the hips back. So now we're on a toe sit, and depending on how daring you want to be, you're going to come off of your hands and maybe bring your hands onto your thighs so you're upright sitting. All right, so you're sitting like on your heels. And we're going to work through that a few times. So shifting forward or shifting onto your chair, that works too. Untuck the toes and sit the hips back. Working on that foot and ankle mobility that allows us to be in this rest posture. Shift forward. Retuck those toes. Sometimes I have to reach back and make sure that they all got underneath me. So it's okay, you can do that too. And you can be kind of reaching forward if your mobility allows you to, you can sit up more on top of the heels. Nice job. Good. Let's have you come forward and stay there. We're gonna come up onto a high kneeling position. Your feet can be untucked. And if you're holding onto your chair, just turn sideways to the chair. So we have some space in front of us. We're gonna reach your left foot forward in a split kneel position, split kneeling. All right, here's a little tip. The wider your foot is out to the side, the more stable you're gonna be because you have a bigger base of support. Use that information as you need, all right? So if you feel unbalanced, bring the leg out to the side. If you feel too balanced and you want to challenge, bring that leg in, okay? The more on a tightrope you are, the harder it is to balance, okay? So figure out where you're challenged in this position. You can bring your knee in, both hands on your hips. Roll the shoulders open. Eyes are up. Good. All right. Pick a spot in front of you, directly in front of you. Now turn your head to the left and pick a spot that's on that side of the room. Now pick a spot that's on the right side of the room. Good. Look forward at your spot. Left, right, forward, left, right, forward, left, right, forward. One more cycle. Left, right, always focusing on that spot, forward. Nice job. Now, the hand, the leg that's forward, we said your left leg is forward. So you can put your left hand on a chair or a wall if you need help and support. We're gonna start swinging this hand that's down by your side, okay? We did this standing last week and one of you was like, that was really hard. So I wanna break it down a little bit more in this split kneel position. All right, so we're just letting this arm swing like crazy. Keep your eyes locked on your front object. And the hand that's on your side, you can start sliding it on your knee if you're not already. So you're swinging, swinging, swinging. Your eyes are on that object. Yeah. Nice. Now, if you can swing both arms, even better. Keep your eye on the object. I want big, obnoxious swinging. And see if you can get the logo of your shirt to look at those objects on either side of the room as you swing, but your eyes are still forward. What? So the logo turns, but your eyes are forward. That's it, Adam. Good, yeah. Awesome. We're gonna go for 4 more. 3. I love it. So, but such big arm swings. 2 and 1. Nice job. Hands on your hips. We're gonna do one more vestibular drill in this position. Use your hand on something if you need to. We're gonna keep your eyes locked on the object in front of you and just turn your head, just the head. So eyes stay focused, just turn the head. Eyes are forward, eyes are forward, eyes are forward. It's small. Your head movement's gonna be small relative to what you just did. If you start to feel yourself sway, squeeze your butt cheek on the right side especially. Tuck your tail underneath you. This is for time. No need to go fast. How far can you turn your head so your eyeballs are on all the way to the edges of the sockets? Good, one more time. Awesome. We're gonna take this left leg and tuck it back where it came from. Because that right knee needs a little break, don't you think? And we're gonna bring the right knee out. Now again, figure out where you want to put your foot. And it may change even like throughout the drills. So use that as just a little strategy. I'm not gonna cue that every time. Figure out where you want to put that. Very nice. Hands on your hips. We're gonna look in front of us. Now find your right spot. Find your left spot and forward. Right, left, forward. Right, left, forward. right, left, forward. Nice job. Right, left, forward. You got one more. Right, left, and forward. Perfect. Hand of the right leg, or sorry, right hand, I should say. Hand of the leg that's forward, your right hand, can be on the wall or a chair if you need it. Otherwise, it's on your thigh. Left arm is going to start swinging obnoxiously. And you can kind of slide the hand on your thigh as you get more comfortable with it if you don't need it for stability. Good. Keeping your eye gaze forward. And yep, some of you are already on it. Both arms are going to swing chaotically. And we're trying to get the logo of the shirt to look towards your right and left spot while you look forward. Get that rotation in your trunk all the way. So not robot arms. We want big, obnoxious rotation. There you go. Get that logo to twist. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Hands on your hips or the chair. We're going to do the vestibular ocular reflex. The head turns. Eyes stay in one spot. Here we go. Rotate. And rotate. Ooh, this side's different for me. Rotate. Yeah, and you're going to do about 10 to 15 passes. Take your time. No need to go fast. That's it. Squeezing your left butt cheek and tucking your tail if you're feeling wobbly. Let's go 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Nice job. Let's tuck that leg in. Blink your eyes. Make sure you're still awake. Yeah. All right. We're going to scoot back. So we have lots of space in front of us. I don't think we're going to need our chair much longer. So I'm going to move this on. Pushing your chair out of the way. I'm going to stand over here by the heater. All right, so we're going to be here. Make sure you have a big runway in front of you. And you can have your toes untucked. We're going to bring the arms up overhead. Big stretch north. Shrug your shoulders up. And when you shrug up, I want you to send your ribs backwards a little bit. So we got this hollowing of your middle. Good. And then go ahead and extend and bring the elbows back. So puff up your chest, almost arch your back, eyes up. And then we're going to go the opposite of that. Extend the arms overhead, push your ribs behind you, hollow out. And then up and extend. So when we come forward, it's like you're making a tunnel for the bride and groom. And then up and extend, open. Nice. One more time. Round the spine. Extend. Awesome. And release. We're going to come forward one more time and hold. How low can you go with those arms without falling and crashing to the ground? Can you go? Can you go? Child's pose without touching the floor? Yeah? And then up, lift, lift, lift. Let's bring the arms down by your side. Again, what was the strategy? Lift, round, send your booty back. As you come forward, try to keep those arms by your ears the whole time. Stretch. How low can you go? Good. Arms by your ears. Yes. Up again. Lift. And then arms down by your side. Nice. We're going to do it again. I want to watch. Go ahead. Up. Start to reach. I'm going to watch. Reach over. Reach over. Your butt's going to go backwards. Butt's going to go backwards. There you go. How low can you go without falling on the floor? Stretch. It's going to be about how well can you keep your arms up too, yeah? And then pull yourself up. Nice. You're going to do that one more time. Try to feel for yourself. What's your limiting factor? Is it the arms get really heavy? Is it the hip mobility? Give it one more go. That's it, Alana. There you go. Your heart's going to come down towards your thighs. Carry, nice job. Good. And then once you hit your lowest point, try to go a little lower. And then bring it all the way up. Nice job. So a little lesson in weight shifting. Let's have you actually come down now into hands in the air like a child's pose. So the hands are back. Now you can rest your hands down on the ground. If your hips are back on your heels, go ahead and start rocking over your wrists and then shift the hips back towards your heels again. We're going to launch ourselves forward. Launch. And then nice and slow, decelerate the hips back down. Good. Eyes are going to stay up. Look at something in front of you and say, okay, I want that thing so bad, but my knees and my hands are glued to the floor. How do I get closer to it? Like someone's dangling the donut in front of you. Nice. We got 3 more. 1, 2, eyes up. And last one. 3. Good. And release back down. Come on all the way to hands and knees so we're a bit more stacked. We're getting towards the end here, folks. You're doing great. Walk your hands out a little bit more so that they feel a little stretched out. You're going to take your right hand out to the side for a little outrigger. And then bring your left knee towards the right hand. So left knee towards the right hand, and we're going to sit on your left hip. And now you're in this twisted seated position. We did this a little bit last time. We're going to push through the arms, use your core to float your hips up, and step the foot back. Your right arm should still be an outrigger. All right, so we're going to work on that transition. The knee comes across and takes a seat, and then up. Your other 3 limbs are glued to the mat still. Thread the knee, push through your arms and get lift, and then bring it back. Thread, extend the chest, and then push. One more time on that side. And push back. Nice job. Sit the hips back over to your heels. We're going to roll out your wrists before we do the other side. I'm going to spin around so I can still see you. All right. Coming into those hands and knees again. Walk your hands forward. We're going to have the left hand out to the side for a little outrigger. The right knee comes underneath towards the left hand. So we're going to slide it on your mat or actually lift it up and then rotate to drop the hips down. This takes a lot of spine mobility, folks. So nice job. Push through your shoulders. You're strong next out of those push-ups and slide the knee back. Bring the knee forward. Good. Find your extension here. You're like the little mermaid on the rock. Slide back. Whatever imagery helps, yeah? Slide under. Extend. And come through. We're working at your own pace, all right? Some of you are going to take a little bit faster pace. Some of you are going to take your time. Good. Do that 1 or 2 more times. Thread the knee through. And 1 more time. Good. And bringing it back. Nice job. Walk your hands back to a hands and knees position. We're going to take one hand in the small of the back. Ask yourself, what do you need to do to take both hands into the small of your back while still keeping your torso in this orientation? Bring your hips underneath you and come upright. Good. Same on the way down. Hinge, bow forward. Very similar to your cat stretch. Both hands come down, but it's gentle because you're like already there. Shift into your hands slightly. Shift back. 1 and both hands. Try to pause there with the torso. And then booty squeeze. hips come underneath you. Good. One more time, hinge. Notice that you can just gently drop your hands down. Shift into your hands. Yeah, shift back. Hands behind. Feel that core connection and then rise up. Awesome. From here, go for that arm swing that we did earlier. Eyes are forward. Logo of your shirt is moving from one side of the room to the other. That's it. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Now, we're going to do some work to get up on our feet. If you know that you'd like to use a chair, make sure you pull that chair back into where you are. Basically, where I put my hands instead of the floor, you just have your hands on the chair, okay? We're going to come into that hands and knees position or bring your hands on the chair. Tuck your toes. Here's that float of your knee again. We're going to press your knees up and then lower your knees down. We did this with the chair at the beginning. Press the knees up and then lower down. Nice, go, good. Press and down. Pushing through those shoulders. Now we know why we do so many push-ups. Yeah, it's important. Shoulder strength, bone density in your shoulders and your wrists, making sure that your wrists are strong. Maybe 1 or 2 more of those. Up, down, come up and stay up. Your hands are either on the chair or the floor. You're going to take your right foot, walk it forward as far as you can. You can bend your knees. Then the left foot's going to come forward. You can bend your knees. See if you can still keep your booty up toward the ceiling. Then the right foot goes back into your bear or down dog, and then step back, knees come down. We're almost done. This is the grand finale. Press up, go down dog or bear. 1 foot steps forward, the other foot steps forward. You can bend your knees. Step the foot back, knees down. You just have 2 more of those. Pike. Step, 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 step. Knees down. Whew. 1 more time. This is a lot of core. Up. Step, step, hold. Now we're going to come up nice and slow. If you know that you fall backwards easily, maybe get yourself turn around so that you can sit on a chair if you fall back. We're going to come up slow. Your hands are going to come on your knees, or your toes, your feet, then your shins, then your knees, then your thighs, keeping your weight forward in your toes, and we come all the way up to stand. And now let the blood settle. Wow. Once you feel good, you're like, okay, I'm equal, like I've got my equilibrium. Walk around the room and see how you feel. Let all of that sort of just like flow through your body. You're like, holy cow, I'm like, what? We did a lot of calf stuff. We did some head turn stuff. Yeah, you can march in place, swing your arms, keep that reciprocal gait going. Go ahead and bring it back to your center. And if you're not already here, go ahead and march in place and swing. Good. Feeling a moment of single leg balance as we go from one side to the other. Yeah. And 3, 2, and quiet. Let yourself be settled. If it feels right to close your eyes and you still feel like you can hold your balance there, close your eyes and let yourself feel grounded into the floor. How are your knees? Are they buoyant? And your feet, are they wide and yielding, grounded into the floor? Are they active? How are your shoulders? Are they sitting on top of your spine, your rib cage? What about your head? Is it also on top of your spine? You don't need that extra pressure in the neck. Let's stack it. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms up. And exhale. Shake it out. Give yourself a dance. Woo! Nice job, team. Great work. I'll turn off the recording, and if you want to share anything with the group,